My name's Adam Manaka and I'm the Financial Controller for High Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at High Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. High Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
Catching up with championship leader in the GT Trophy Series, Steve McLaughlin. Steve, 30-odd points now coming into today's final race, and then you've got one more round at Wakefield. This is close.
Yeah, it's a lot closer than I'd like. I mean, we started off the weekend about 101 points up and didn't have a good run yesterday, a few safety cars, and you know, we made one mistake, fell back to about 10, got back to 8, and then the safety car ended the race. So we've got a little bit of work to do today.
So what's the plan today? I mean, do you 33-point lead, do you go into today hoping to consolidate that and go into Wakefield Park with that same lead, or do you just keep pushing forward and hope for the best?
Well, I think, you know, we've got a better CPS today, so we should be able to get up to third or second. I think, you know, if Rod stays on the track, he'll probably win it. That'll mean there's only about 13 points in it, so it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a battle in the last round.
The weather has abated just a little bit. Australian GT Trophy Series about to head out on track for round 4 of the 2017 season. Hopefully no one makes a goose of themselves out there in this one.
Famous local bird life, the Cape Barren geese. They like to get trackside and often do walk right up to the edge of the track and watch the cars go by. They're not backwards and coming forward. As they head off now behind the McLaren safety car. A big thanks to Zagami Autosport and McLaren of Melbourne. Of course, Shannons that provide all the great insurance as well, as the McLaren leads the field round. Appropriately, the McLaren leads the GT field round.
Makes a bit of sense, really, doesn't it? On pole position, it will be Rod Salmon in the number 6 Audi R8 LMS Ultra. Alongside him on the front row, Wayne Mack in the Ferrari 458. It's then Matthew Turnbull out of 3, Rob Smith in 4th, Richard Gardner, who did so well at Queensland Raceway, in 5th. Then it's Rick Menser, Jan Unidasa, Steve McLaughlin, the current championship leader, John Goodacre and Mark Griffith out of P10.
Lights are off, and Wayne Mack draws alongside Rod Salmon, no stranger to this, and Rob Smith behind there as well.
Meanwhile, they are now trying to spot the green flag as the field comes down towards the line. Rod Salmon on the driver's right controls the pace. He is the pole man. The green flag flies, and what a jump from Salmon. He's gone like a fish upstream away from the line. Wayne Mack's now battling with Matthew Turnbull as they go down into turn 1. Turnbull's got the inside line. Mack drops that back to 3rd. Good start from Gardner up to 4th as well. So Rob Smith has dropped back a little bit. McLaughlin also making good progress early. He's now right up behind stablemate Smith in that number 75 Valvoline entry.
These big rear tyres just pump the road dry. The Pirelli wets work very, very hard, and they do a fantastic job. You really wouldn't want to be any further back than Wayne Mack about now. It's just going to be a big, white, confrontational haze in front of you there. Jan Unidasa, you know, that's not a nice spot to be in this sort of weather, as we start to see the field already just ease out. Look at that, under brakes, a big look there for Richard Gardner and Rob Smith. There's McLaughlin. He's looking as though he wants to make inroads early, as does Johnny Goodacre. He gets through on Higgins right there. Young Unidasa driving quite intelligently, but you get the feeling that John Goodacre is getting just a little bit edgy to want to get through. Richard Gardner stopped dead. Thank goodness, off the middle of the track there. The geese just off to the left-hand side of the screen there, and the field stream on by, and that is a horrible sight, seeing the Raging Bull, the bright yellow car, stranded in the middle of the track there. But Rod Salmon takes advantage of this, and I dare say if that car can't be moved, they're not going to leave it right there like that. We're going to see early doors a safety car.
Yeah, if he can't get that going, it will be a safety car. Not a shadow of doubt. He does get it going, though. Richard Gardner's dropped some half a lap back. He's only just going through the hay shed. Meanwhile, the rest of the field is already up out of MG. A little bit of door-to-door contact there between Con Whitlock and Rio Nagara as they make their way around to complete the opening lap. Out front, Rod Salmon's in a different postcode. Steve McLaughlin rather, so easy to get him confused with Scott McLaughlin because such has been his performance in 2017. He's already up to 4th place, having started down in 8th in this race. So a good opening lap from the championship leader. He's now in pursuit of Matthew Turnbull in third place. The Lamborghini, which yesterday lost its bonnet on lap 2. No such dramas this time through. Rob Smith, the reigning series champ, coming under pressure from Jan Yenadasa, the 77 Lamborghini Gallardo, hassling the back of that Audi R8 LMS. Two very different styles of motorcar, both mid-engined but different philosophies in going racing. Very different philosophy employed from Steve McLaughlin up the inside, late on the brakes, gets it turned in, makes the move stick on Matthew Turnbull, moves up into third place. Next car up the road is Wayne Mack. He's a good 5 or 6 seconds up the road though, so he's got a little bit of work to do before he gets there. Rod Salmon's also cleared out up front. The race will come back to McLaughlin though, courtesy of yesterday's result. He's going to be stationary for a lot shorter time when we do reach the pit stop window.
Down the straight now, great shots straight into the front of that red Lamborghini Gallardo and into the two Audis, the Audi chasing there. Rob Smith, the number 1 plate holder, last year's champion, and the number 77 of Jan Yenadasa.
Yenadasa had a bit of a look there down into turn 1 in the dry. That's a 230-kilometre corner without too much trouble in the wet. Wouldn't be too far off of that. Lots of downforce in these cars. Yenadasa, good drive out of the southern loop, having a little bit of a look up the inside at Stoner Curve. Not a lot of opportunity through there. He's better tuck in, sweep wide on the exit. Smith though sees that one coming, covers off the inside. In fact, Jan Yenadasa's gone in a little bit hot there. He's gone in deep but able to grab a late apex, so not too much damage done. Lost maybe a car length or so, but could have been a lot worse if he'd gone much deeper on the brakes.
So time remaining, 43 minutes. We're 6 minutes and 50 seconds into this 50-minute race. And we go to the final round at Wakefield Park at the middle of November for the Trophy Series. That's the 18th and 19th of November at Wakefield Park. And it'll be the conclusion of the Australian Production Car Series there as well, and the Shannons Nationals, I believe, are on the billing there. So at the moment, the very high-profile Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit sees 17 Australian GT Trophy cars out there churning around, being led by Rod Salmon at the moment over Wayne Mack.
Out on track, Rod Smith and Jan Yenadasa still locked together. The battle for 5th continues to rage. Through the hay shed they come. You're a brave man dropping a wheel onto the curbs in conditions like this. Jan Yenadasa, full confidence in that Lamborghini, looks to sweep wide. He's got so much more pace. He's going to go around the outside at Lukey Heights. You don't do that. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Jan Yenadasa, what a move from the JJA Consulting Group Lamborghini around the outside of Rob Smith over Lukey Heights. Got the job done under braking as well to hold that spot. A brilliant move from Jan Yenadasa, moves him up into 5th place and already beginning to pull clear of Rob Smith.
Here we go. It's straight on it. Jan Yenadasa going wide there. He's got some good grip. Wide, holding on. He's been setting him up for that because the Lambo's been pushing wide and going down to tight the last 2 laps. Whether he's been setting it up or that's just where the Lamborghini's happy to run around there, but he's driving away now. Looking now at Rio Nagara and John Goodacre. John Goodacre in the Sector Mark car, Gap Solutions Easy Pos car. Really enjoying his time in the Mark car, John Goodacre. A lot of racing in Porsches. In fact, he was had the most race drives in the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge. Switched over to GT Trophy with the Mark car, and well, the Mark car can, being associated with that mob, it can take you all over the world to do all sorts of different, very interesting races. Ranagaro down the inside. Goodacre didn't see him coming, and it is going to be side by side up to Siberia. The Audi looking to use all of the aero that it has. It does it nicely too. Accelerated very well away there. All those different settings of traction control being used. Wow, that was a big bit of right boot.
Sorry.
Big bit of right boot there, and Johnny Goodacre just claims back rightfully what's his. Here we go. Jan Yenadasa now looking to Turnbull. A couple of turn down pipes on the back of that Gallardo there, getting the noise well down into the ground. And side by side, 2 raging bulls go. But Yenadasa is absolutely gripped up at the moment. This thing is just working absolutely perfectly. and drives on by his fellow Lamborghini competitor.
Yanni Nadessa out there finding all sorts of grip. Nuria Nagara is out there looking for it. Look at this, stamps the right pedal down. The back end steps out. That could have been an almighty shunt had he not got out of that one. He's done well to keep it on the black stuff, more or less. This is the battle for second place. Wayne Mack versus Steve McLaughlin there, 12.5 seconds off the back of our race leader. This battle really starting to heat up. Been locked together for the last few laps. McLaughlin having climbed from 8th at the start, now sits in 3rd, tucked up in behind the Mack Brothers Roofing Products Ferrari 458 GT3 is close to have a look as they go down into turn 1. McLaughlin pulls out of the slipstream, he's got the inside line, gets the job done. Through into second place, moves the Valvoline Jamik-Pem racing car beyond Wayne Mack in the Ferrari 458. Audi first, Audi second, Ferrari now down to 3rd.
That's just lapse in confidence right there, isn't it? The way he executed that. Wayne Mack has been around a while, but certainly hasn't done the level of racing that this guy's done that's just passed him. Lined him up. Not exactly a horsepower race there because he's in the slipstream, pulls out. Now this is confidence to go side by side down through turn 1. Wayne Mack certainly didn't get out of it. Once that slingshot occurred for the Valvoline Jamik-Pem car, it was job done. We'll be back after this quick break here at the Shannons Nationals. Welcome back, trackside here at the Shannons Nationals.
Scott Hookey, the first car in pit lane, take his compulsory pit stop. He'll sit there for 24 seconds. Looks like Ryle Harris giving him some instruction as well.
And dispatched. Away he goes.
Meanwhile, two more unlikely bedfellows. KTM Crossbow GT4 versus Ferrari F430 GT3. One of the latest spec GT4 cars versus one of the most iconic GT3 cars has ever been. Mark Griffith at the wheel of that car pits. Justin McMillan in the KTM Crossbow continues around for another lap. Probably continuing along at this point is the thing to do, isn't it? Because a dry line might just appear in the next couple of minutes. That might see you switch to slick tyres. Of course, you can run the wets on a drying track, but you probably don't want to run the slicks on a wet track. It's a recipe for disaster doing that, as we saw a little bit earlier in the weekend. The weather has been on and off. Richard Gardner continuing to make progress, moves through on Jamie Arrington, who's just stepped into the number 12 Ferrari in place of John Nikolovsky. Gardner in 9th place, next car up the road is the KTM we were looking at. There is, how's that for skill?
Accurate throwing there, Ryle Harris, straight into the cockpit there on the number 19, Matt Griffith. Really is the time of the day where, you know, the experienced engineers and mechanics, the likes of Joe Ladoni, that step into their own at this point of time and bring the cars in, do everything, get the car control right. Big g'day to Joe Ladoni as well. Thanks for all of his help. Great bloke and been around the GT scene for a long, long time, and continues to help many of people. Lots of individuals that you meet throughout the years that are instrumental in helping these race drivers achieve what they want. Joe's been around for a long time, helped Peter Hackett for a long time in the Lambos and the early Mercedes days, and helps a lot of people along the way. His workshop based in Raverna Street in Moorabbin.
Rob Smith is taken to the pit lane, so the pressure from behind has just eased off a little bit. Rob Smith will be stationary for 36 seconds.
A couple of old heads there as well, popping around. Ian Baird, who has been working with the Audis since they won their first couple of races when Phoenix came over to take the first of those 12-hour races at Mount Panorama. Learned heads down there, aren't they? They bring a lot of experience with them.
So the pit lane starting to get a little bit busy. John Goodacre in pit lane. There's Scott Hookey. Looks for a new line around Phillip Island.
That looks like coming out of Siberia.
Yeah,
and the entry
right
too, so he's messed up the entry.
And the John Nikolovsky, Jamie Arrington Ferrari back in, so I suspect they perhaps left a little bit too early, so they've had to come back in to serve their compulsory pit stop. So Salmon continues to lead. McLaughlin, Wayne Mack, Yanni Nadassa, Matty Turnbull, Rick Mentz's taken to the pit lane. It's then Richard Gardner, the man who's putting a move on Mark Griffith Or is that Scott Hookey, in fact? Hookey a lap down in the challenge class Ferrari, the number 33 Fiorano Motorsports entry. He's not gone absolutely gangbusters, just gradually chipped away at those ahead. If we look at Rick Menser in pit lane, the team just checking pressures, bleeding off the excess. We stalled it there, I think.
Okay, go.
They're just getting too carried away. They were looking to go a second or two early there, so they rightly stopped him.
Wayne Mack in.
Yeah, Wayne Mack is in third place car in pit lane, so Salmon and McLaughlin will be in next time through. Yanyan Adassa now also in pit lane. There is Wayne Mack, the car that was sitting third, was second for so long in this race. Back of shot is Yanyan Adassa. Out front though, 13 seconds between Salmon and McLaughlin. Salmon's going to be stationary for 12 seconds longer than McLaughlin, so this is going to condense in a couple of moments here once those two leading cars take their stops. Mack, having served his time, heads back out. Rejoin a little bit down the order. Will be a net third place.
As we see the KTM crossbow come in. Menacing looking piece of kit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Almost looks evil.
If Darth Vader and Batman got together,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is what they would produce.
Yeah.
KTM crossbow, and there's our race leader as well, just flicking through shot, as is Gary Higgins. Steve McLaughlin heading into the lane as well. So the pit window about to close, everyone pouring into pit lane. Rod Salmon continues to lead this race. He should hold that as well once this cycle completes, but he's going to have McLaughlin for close company. In fact, they're going to emerge from the pit lane separated by about that. Only a couple of car lengths there. There was just under 12 seconds between them as they entered pit lane. There's going to be 12 seconds difference in their compulsory pit stop, so these two should be glued to one another as they exit. The car controllers should release them at an identical time. Adam De Boer, a man who's engineered Chas Mostert in the Virgin Australian Supercars, counting down Steve McLaughlin. Pressure, the nerves, don't stall it. McLaughlin is out. McLaughlin, that's a pass to the lead in pit lane. Salmon released now. So Steve McLaughlin will move to the head of this race. Richard Gartner.
Gee, that's tough. Gee, that's tough when it happens like that.
5 seconds left. Richard Gartner only just in pit lane. I think he's missed it. I think Richard Gartner's missed the pit window. He's only just in pit lane now, and the pit window closed 6 seconds ago. It's close, but I think Richard Gartner's missed the window. He could be excluded from this race. Watch for that one as this unfolds. There is the number 69 safety stop Lamborghini, who'll be making strong progress through the field. I think he's missed the pit window. They'll service the car, they'll hold him there, they'll let him back out on track. Race control, no doubt, will look into that and make a judgment. Matty Turnbull was well and truly in the pit lane. He's about to be released and back a shot there. The red Lamborghini rejoining the race now.
And that is the Mensa car, and he's going to get bogged too.
Yeah, that's on the inside of Siberia.
Doesn't take much to belly out down there.
No, and you can see the rear wheels spinning.
Well, just as I said, the Magic Towing
Yeah.
crew are having to do sitting in behind the barriers. Maybe the Magic Towing crew will get out there and have another job. We thank Magic Towing for all of their fantastic work they do around the tracks as well, and they join in with Pyack Recovery here at Phillip Island very, very well in doing what they do.
Yellow flag there. Did I just see Steve McLaughlin pass under yellow flag? I think Steve McLaughlin's just passed Justin McMillan under yellow flag as they went by the 22 Triple C polished concrete entry of Rick Menser. Steve McLaughlin is our race leader. We saw as the shot cut there, McLaughlin going up the inside at Siberia of the KTM driver. So a couple of question marks out there at the moment. Richard Gartner, did he make the pit stop window? And Steve McLaughlin, did he just pass under yellow flag? He's got a 5 second advantage at the front of the race. Here it is. Look for the yellow flag at top of screen there. So the KTM in the middle of these. Steve McLaughlin up the inside, and well,
Not at the yellow flag yet. Still not there. Still not there.
That's a pass on the yellow flag if ever I've seen one. Wow.
Well, thanks for that replay. That is
good camera work there, spotting that. Bodywork on the middle of the circuit. What is that? That must be about Hayshed. So that's definitely going to be a safety car. We've already got a yellow flag out at Siberia. There is no way they're going to be able to leave that bit of bodywork in the middle of one of the fastest corners in Australian motorsport. Rod Salmon sees it, just about clips it, as he goes around the outside of that bodywork. I wonder who that's off. It looks like it's part of the fairing in the wheel well. The car's going left and right. We've got a black flag out there as well. Car 69, race radar crackling. Richard Gardner, black flag. We thought he might pick up a penalty for missing the pit window.
He's in the lane
Seems
now.
that's exactly what's happened. We watch Jan Unidasa and Matt Turnbull, two Lamborghini Gallardos, such iconic racing cars. Of course, yesterday we saw from Matt Turnbull some bodywork fly off that car and end up in the middle of the circuit. The yellow flag has been retracted at Siberia. Rick Mentz's car is still stuck there on the inside. It's out of harm's way. They are confident that drivers have seen where that car is. Wow. There is Richard Gardner into the garage. Game over for this race. Missed the pit window by my maths, about 6 seconds.
Well, the Wall Racing crew, they are one of the crews that are second to none, but I guess that strategy, they are running down to being millimetre perfect, and well, it hasn't quite panned out today. Very, very rare that Wall Racing put a foot wrong in anything.
Once again, Gary Higgin versus Mark Griffith. Justin McMillan also in this one. 8th, 9th and 10th on the road. How well is Justin McMillan driving in that KTM Crossbow? He doesn't have the power, he doesn't have the downforce of the cars he's racing with. He's driving the wheels off of that KTM. He's got an Audi engine in it, but nothing like the V10 that's in the back of Gary Higgins' car. He looks up the inside of Mark Griffith. Griffo sees him coming, opens the door. What's Justin McMillan been able to do? Has he been able to buy through his way there? No. So Higgin up into 8th place, Mark Griffith down into 9th. Griffo in the challenge class, the leading challenge class contender. So a battle for position on track, but ultimately not in terms of ultimate race results. This is a battle for race position though. 4th, 5th and 6th. And Turnbull in the Fire Rating Solutions Lamborghini, the number 9 entry. Currently 5th. Fending off Rob Smith in the Southern Star Developments Audi. 6th place. He's still been locked together for much of the race, haven't they?
They have. Let's have a look with just under 6 minutes remaining how the cars are tracking on the circuit. It is Steve McLaughlin. Oh, there's a spinner in the number 24 Audi, Gary Higgin. This is a trophy class car right at the top of turn 12. Smack bang between the turns 11 and 12 there in the little short chute that is a straight, but it is a high load right-hander either side of basically where he is. That's sort of on the apex out the edge there, so not sure what happened, but back underway again now, and he's grabbing gears frantically trying to get back around to the track. He's just gone down a spot now to Goodacre. And here's this battle, the older 430.
This is where Gary Higgin was placed in between these two cars. Look at the back end of that Ferrari just step out as Mark Griffith turned it into Stoner Curve under braking into turn 4. So Gary Higgin didn't catch what caused that spin, but was able to rejoin. He's dropped out of 9th place. That's promoted Justin McMillan into that spot. You just get the feeling that that KTM Crossbow GT4 is perhaps got a little bit more pace than the Ferrari in these conditions. It's not wet, it's not dry, it's very slippery out there. We've got the checkered flag being displayed a couple of minutes early here.
This
Steve
too.
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin takes it with the Squirk Audi in 2nd place. Well done to Steve McLaughlin, who, look at the start of this race, didn't look like he was going to take a victory. And that's been called 4 minutes early on us, taken us a little bit by surprise, as this battle will still rage all the way to the finish line. And this is Ginadasa in 4th, Rob Smith in 5th. And it is Matty Turnbull who'll be fighting it out there as well. These are the cars coming to the line. So there they are. They come across. Steve McLaughlin, Audi R8 LMS. Same car, Rod Salmon in P2. Wayne Mack in the Ferrari leads home. Jan Ginadasa, Rob Smith in an Audi. Turnbull in a the second of the Lamborghinis to the line there. Rio Nagara R8 LMS Ultra. Mark Griffith in the older 430. Justin McMillan in the GT4 as well. John Goodacre home in 10th place, the first of the marked cars.
No, didn't do too well yesterday. Made a little bit of a rookie error and locked the brakes up into Honda, and the race was shortened, so I didn't get a chance to get back up the field. So we started 8th, got a reasonably good start, and a little bit less CPS this time. So we came out near the front and just went from there. Look, I thought it'd be close. I mean, obviously with the CPS, he was in for 12 seconds longer in the pit, so I knew it was going to be fairly close. But once I got out and I was 5 seconds up the road, I knew I could hold that through the rest of the race. So it was quite good.
Well, folks, that wraps up our coverage from Phillip Island, the penultimate round of the Shannons Nationals. Thanks for joining us today. We look forward to catching you again very soon. On behalf of the team, it's goodbye.
Coming up after the break, we head to Queensland Raceway for round 4 of the 2017 Swan Super Series.